and gentlemen, we all go through seasons in life where it feels like we're losing ourselves in the struggles, the pain, the disappointment. It's easy to get caught up in the heaviness of our circumstances, to feel like we're drowning in a sea of uncertainty and fear. But I want you to understand something today. Your hunger for hope is not just a passing feeling. It's a signal. It's a signal that deep within you, there is still something calling you to rise above what you've been through. Something is stirring within you, urging you to reach beyond the confines of your circumstances, to step into a future you may not fully see, but a future that is being shaped by your relentless pursuit of hope. It's so easy to feel like hope is this distant thing, this far-off place where everything is perfect and all your dreams come true. But hope is not about everything being perfect. It's about believing in something greater than what you can see in front of you. Hope is about trusting that there is a purpose even when life feels empty. When the world seems dark and there's no end to the storm, hope is the quiet voice telling you, hold on, something is coming. Now let's talk about hunger. We know what it's like to feel physically hungry, right? You've been there, that gnawing feeling in your stomach, the emptiness that screams for satisfaction. But there's a deeper hunger we experience, the hunger for meaning, the hunger for peace, the hunger for hope. This hunger isn't about food. It's about filling the void in your soul that is aching for something greater than yourself. It's the part of you that longs for connection, for clarity, for a future that isn't limited by your past. That hunger is a fire within you, a fire that can't be ignored. It's the fire that compels you to get up even when you feel like staying down. It's the fire that pushes you to keep moving even when the road feels too long. But here's the thing about hunger for hope. It's not something you can always satisfy with the things around you. The world will tell you that hope can be found in success, in accomplishments, in approval, in wealth, in people. But true hope is not found in what you have or don't have. Hope isn't external, hope is internal. And when you're hungry for it, you have to dig deep inside yourself to find it. This hunger, this deep longing is not a weakness, it's your strength. It is your spirit pushing you to recognize that there is something more. There is always something more, even when you can't see it yet. It's easy to let life's challenges make you feel small and insignificant, to make you feel like your efforts are in vain. But that hunger you feel is your heart reminding you that you're still here, you're still standing. And there's a reason for it. You've been through too much to let go now. You've survived storms that should have broken you, and yet you're still here, standing. This hunger for hope is what's keeping you grounded when everything around you is falling apart. It's what's helping you push through the pain and the doubt, and it's what's fueling the belief that something better is on the way. I know there are moments when it feels like hope is slipping through your fingers. You've prayed, you've believed, you've done everything you know to do, and yet things are still not aligning. And that's when your hunger for hope has to become a decision to keep pressing forward, a decision to refuse to settle for less than what you were created for, a decision to keep trusting even when trusting feels impossible. It's in those moments of doubt and weariness that you have to remind yourself that the hunger you feel is a reminder of the future that's waiting for you. Hope is the anchor that'll keep you steady when everything else seems uncertain. And when you're hungry for hope, you must learn to feed that hunger with something real, not just empty words, not just superficial promises, but real hope, deep-rooted hope that comes from understanding who you are and the power that lies within you. But here's the hard part. You won't always see the result of your hunger immediately. There will be seasons when it feels like you're sowing into the ground with no fruit in sight. There will be moments when your hunger will feel like a heavy burden, and the waiting will test your patience and your faith. But listen to me, the waiting is not wasted. Every moment you spend hungry for hope is preparing you for the moment when everything will shift. The seeds you plant in your hunger are growing beneath the surface even when you can't see them. And just because you don't see results right away doesn't mean it's not working. Sometimes the growth happens in the unseen places, and in time you'll see the manifestation of your hunger. I want you to know that you are worthy of this hope. Your hunger for hope is valid. You are deserving of every good thing that is coming your way, even when it feels like you're not enough or that your circumstances are too much. Don't let the world or your past tell you otherwise. The hunger within you is a sign that you are ready for something more. You are ready to step into the version of yourself that is resilient, that is unshakable, that refuses to be defined by the limitations of your past. And in that process, you will discover that hope is not just something you receive, but something you become. It's easy to lose hope when you feel like you're doing everything right, but things are still falling apart. You feel like you're on the edge, but the breakthrough hasn't come. I want to encourage you right now, keep pressing, keep moving, keep believing. The weight of your hunger is not in vain. It's preparing you. It's strengthening your character. It's teaching you to trust even when the situation doesn't look like it's changing. Because there's one thing I know. Hope will not disappoint you. You have to learn to trust the process. Your hunger for hope isn't just a fleeting feeling. It's a journey that will take you through valleys and mountaintops. But at the end of it all, you will realize that the hunger itself was shaping you into the person you were always meant to be. The hunger for hope refines you. It pulls out the best parts of you that you never knew existed. It brings out your resilience, your strength, your ability to keep going when others would have given up. So when you feel like you're at your breaking point, when you feel like the hope you've been chasing is just out of reach, remember this: there's power in your hunger. Your hunger will not be ignored. It's calling you forward even when you can't see where you're going. And in the moments when you feel like you have nothing left, remember this: you have everything you need to rise. Don't let the world dictate your hunger. Don't let the enemy of doubt and fear steal your appetite for what's coming. Your hunger for hope is a divine call. It is a whisper telling you that better days are ahead. It is a message reminding you that you are not forgotten. Your story is not over. There is more to your story than what you're experiencing right now. You are stronger than you think. You are more capable than you realize. The hunger that burns inside you is the very thing that will fuel you to the next chapter of your life. And when you reach that place of breakthrough, you will look back and see that the hunger for hope was never in vain. You will see that it was the catalyst for everything you were able to achieve. It was the thing that gave you the strength to keep going when you wanted to give up, and it was the thing that brought you to the place where you could finally see the light that was always shining even when you couldn't see it through the clouds. So today, the hunger for hope is one of the most powerful and underrated forces within us. In times of difficulty, when life feels like it's breaking us down, this hunger becomes the thing that keeps us from completely giving up. It may feel like an overwhelming desire, a deep, unspoken need for something greater. But what if I told you that this hunger is not something to be feared, not something to hide away? What if I told you that this hunger is actually one of your greatest strengths? When we think of hunger, the immediate association is with a physical need. Empty stomachs, cravings, desires for food. We know what it feels like to be hungry for something to eat. That feeling is uncomfortable. It gnaws at you. It distracts you from everything else until it is satisfied. But hunger for hope is something deeper. It's a longing that comes from your soul, from your spirit. It's a longing for something more, something that fills the empty spaces in your life that no material possession or external validation can fulfill. It's an emotional and spiritual hunger, one that you may not always understand, but feel intensely at your core. In the hardest of times, when the world seems bleak and your circumstances weigh you down, it is the hunger for hope that refuses to let you stay stuck. The ache for something better, something brighter, is not just a sign of desperation. It is the fuel that keeps you fighting. Without that hunger, without that inner drive, it would be so much easier to throw in the towel and give up. Hope in its most pure form doesn't promise immediate relief or answers. What it promises instead is a belief in something greater than the present pain. It promises a reason to keep going, a reason to believe that what lies ahead is worth the struggle. It is so easy to get discouraged. Life doesn't come with a map, and no one has a clear path to follow. We face challenges that seem insurmountable, obstacles that test our faith, and setbacks that threaten to steal our joy. In those moments, hope feels like a distant concept, something far beyond our reach. But here's the truth. The hunger for hope is the very thing that will pull us out of the darkness. It's the belief that something better is coming, even when everything in front of you says otherwise. It's the quiet whisper inside you that says, keep going, keep fighting, keep believing. That whisper is hope in action, and it is the source of your strength. We often overlook the power of hunger. In the physical realm, hunger signals a need for nourishment. It's the body's way of telling us that something is missing. If we don't address that hunger, we become weak, we lose energy, and we can't function at our full capacity. But in the emotional and spiritual realm, hunger for hope serves the same purpose. It is the soul's way of telling you that you need something beyond what you can see. It tells you that there is more waiting for you. It might not come immediately, but it's coming. That hunger is not a weakness. It is a signal that there is more to your life than the trials you face today. There is more to your journey than the challenges that feel like they are defining your story. Think about the most difficult times you faced. Think about the moments when you thought you couldn't go on any longer. It was the hunger for hope that kept you moving, even if you didn't recognize it at the time. In those moments, you may have doubted everything, your purpose, your worth, the direction of your life. But something inside you refused to let go of the belief that things could change. That belief, no matter how small, is hope. And that hope is something powerful. It is a force that drives you to keep moving forward, to keep searching for better days, even when the world tells you that they may never come. The hunger for hope isn't just about seeking comfort. It's about believing in the possibility of transformation. When you're hungry for hope, you're willing to look beyond what you can see and trust that something greater is ahead. This hunger is what makes us resilient. It's the reason we keep moving forward even when every step feels like a struggle. Resilience isn't about having all the answers or avoiding pain. It's about continuing to hope, to dream, to press forward even when life is hard. Hope gives us the ability to bounce back after setbacks, to keep going when the path is unclear, and to trust that there is a purpose in the waiting. There will be times when that hunger for hope feels like it's all-consuming, when it seems like nothing is happening, and it feels like the hope you're reaching for is slipping through your fingers. But that's when the hunger becomes even more important. In those moments when you feel like you have nothing left to give, that hunger is what fuels you to keep going. It's not about seeing the end result right away. It's about trusting that the journey is worth it. It's about believing that what you're going through now is shaping you, preparing you, and strengthening you for what's ahead. Sometimes the world tries to convince us that hunger is a sign of weakness. We're told that we should be content with what we have, that we should be grateful for what we've achieved and not want more. But the hunger for hope is different. It doesn't speak to discontentment, it speaks to potential. It speaks to the belief that there is more for you to experience, more for you to contribute, and more for you to become. That hunger isn't about wishing your life away. It's about knowing that what you're going through now is temporary and that something better is on the horizon. It's about knowing that your story is not yet finished. When you're hungry for hope, you are recognizing your own power. You are acknowledging that you have the strength to create change in your life, that you have the ability to overcome the obstacles in front of you, and that you can rise above the challenges. The hunger for hope is a reminder that your future is not determined by your past or by your present circumstances. Your future is determined by the choices you make today. It's determined by how much you're willing to believe that there is more for you, even when things are tough. In a world that often feels like it's in chaos, the hunger for hope is what keeps us grounded. It keeps us looking for light even in the darkest of times. It helps us believe that no matter how hard the struggle, it is always worth it. The hunger for hope may feel uncomfortable at times, like a deep gnawing desire for something more, but that hunger is your signpost to a future that is filled with possibility. And if you're willing to embrace it, if you're willing to keep going, that hunger will be the thing that propels you toward your greatest breakthroughs. Hope is not a passive feeling, it is active. It compels you to move. It drives you to take steps, to press forward and to reach for something greater. It is the force that pushes you to get up after every fall, to believe when everything around you seems to be falling apart. And that hunger for hope is the key. It's not just something to feel, it's something to pursue. Because the moment you stop pursuing hope, you stop living. And you are meant to live fully, abundantly, and with purpose. That hunger will never let you settle for less than what you were created for. It will always point you toward the life you were meant to live. True hope, when you really understand it, is not found in external things or in the approval of others. It isn't something that can be acquired by chasing material possessions, achieving status, or gaining praise from the world. It is, in fact, an internal belief, a quiet conviction that there is more to life than what you can currently see and experience. Hope isn't a fleeting emotion that is stirred by good news or temporary victories. It's a lasting, resilient force that resides within you. It's an internal conviction that no matter what happens in your life, something greater is at work, something beyond the limits of your circumstances. When life becomes overwhelming, when the road is unclear and the weight of the world is pressing down on your shoulders, it is easy to think that hope is something you must look for outside of yourself. We live in a world that constantly tells us that success, happiness, and fulfillment are found in external sources. We are told that if we have enough money, the right job, the perfect relationships, or the approval of others, then we will be happy. These things might bring temporary satisfaction, but they will never satisfy the deepest hunger of your soul. No amount of outward success can fill the emptiness that can only be filled by true, unwavering hope. The reason hope is internal is because it transcends the fleeting highs and lows of life. It is not defined by how many followers you have on social media or the achievements you've racked up. Hope is deeper than all that. It is rooted in your understanding of who you are and who you are becoming. Hope is about recognizing that the things you face today are not the end of the story. It's the quiet knowing that even though the journey may be tough, there is something more waiting for you. The external world cannot give you that kind of certainty. It can only create temporary satisfaction. True hope, the kind that sustains you when the world around you crumbles, comes from within. This internal hope grows stronger the more you allow yourself to believe in it. It doesn't always make sense on paper. When everything around you is falling apart, hope might seem illogical. It might seem like a naive wish, a fleeting thought that you should abandon in favor of facing the harsh reality. But what if you could trust that hope is not about ignoring the difficulties of life? It's about choosing to believe that these struggles are not your end point. That is the power of internal hope. It gives you the strength to move forward even when everything tells you to stop. When you place your hope in external circumstances, you risk it being taken away. What happens if you lose your job? What happens if relationships falter? What happens when life throws a curveball that you didn't see coming? If your hope is tied to these external factors, then your hope is at risk of being shattered when these things fall apart. But when your hope is internal, it remains unshaken by what happens around you. It is not tied to the fleeting nature of external circumstances. It comes from a place deep within you, from a belief that your worth, your purpose, and your future are not dependent on what the world may offer. The world is a changing, uncertain place, but hope that is internal remains firm, rooted in something far greater than what you can see or understand. In this way, internal hope empowers you. It shifts the power to your own ability to believe in what is possible, in what is greater, and in what is yet to come. External hope relies on what is happening in the present moment, but internal hope is not swayed by the present. It understands that what you are facing today is temporary and that the future holds the possibility of something better. There's something so freeing about this internal hope. It doesn't depend on what is happening around you, and it doesn't require you to manipulate your circumstances to feel hopeful. All you need is the belief that no matter what, you can continue to move forward because you know there is purpose and meaning in your journey. You don't need to wait for the right things to happen to feel hopeful. You simply need to trust in the process, trust in yourself, and trust that there is more to life than the challenges you're facing right now. In a world full of distractions and temporary highs, it can be easy to get lost in chasing things that won't sustain you. The world's definition of hope might be found in tangible outcomes, in success, in fame, or in having things, but true hope is not about chasing what the world says you need. It's about trusting that even when life is uncertain, you are still moving towards something greater. You are still moving toward purpose. You are still becoming the person you are meant to be. Hope is not about having everything figured out right now, but about trusting that the pieces are falling into place even when you can't see the picture. The power of internal hope is that it doesn't require perfection. You don't have to have everything together in order to have hope. In fact, hope thrives in imperfection. It lives in the moment. When you don't have all the answers, when you're in the process of becoming, when you're still figuring things out, hope doesn't wait for everything to be perfectly aligned. It meets you where you are. It is the voice that tells you, even in the mess, even in the unknown, even in the waiting, there is something worth believing in. Hope doesn't have to wait for the perfect conditions to appear. It shows up in the imperfect, messy, beautiful process of life. This internal hope also teaches you to believe in your own strength. When hope comes from within, it allows you to stand strong in your own power. It teaches you that you are not defined by what you've lost, what you've been through, or what others say about you. Your worth is not dependent on your circumstances or how the world sees you. Hope that comes from within is a recognition that you have everything you need to overcome any challenge. It helps you realize that your circumstances are temporary, but the strength and resilience you carry within you are eternal. You can face anything because your hope is rooted in something unshakable, your own belief in yourself and the future you are creating. So when the world tries to tell you that hope is something you need to chase externally, I want you to remember that true hope is within you already. It's not about waiting for the perfect moment or the right set of circumstances to feel hopeful. It's about believing that no matter what you face, you are equipped with the internal strength and belief to keep moving forward. Your hope is not dependent on what's happening outside of you. It is an internal force that will carry you through every storm, every challenge, and every uncertain moment. You are capable of holding on to hope because that hope is already within you. Resilience is often described as the ability to bounce back from adversity, but true resilience is much deeper than simply recovering from setbacks. It's the strength to continue moving forward, to keep putting one foot in front of the other, even when it feels like the weight of the world is pressing down on you. Resilience doesn't just show up when things are going well. It's in the moments when everything seems uncertain, when the path is unclear, and when you don't know how you'll make it through another day. It's a quiet determination, a steady resolve to keep fighting, keep pushing, and keep going even when the odds are stacked against you. Resilience is what allows you to not only survive, but to thrive in the face of hardship, to grow stronger through challenges, and to emerge from struggles with a deeper sense of purpose and clarity. The hunger for hope plays a significant role in building resilience. When you are hungry for hope, you are not just seeking comfort or escape from your current situation. You are actively looking for a reason to keep going. That hunger for something better, something brighter, fuels your inner strength and keeps you moving forward even when the way is difficult. It is the inner belief that despite the pain and the struggles, something greater is coming, and that is what keeps you from giving up. Resilience is built on that belief. It is the ability to face obstacles head on, knowing that there is something waiting for you on the other side of your current struggles. Without hope, resilience can feel like an uphill battle, but with hope, you are able to withstand the storms of life, knowing that each challenge is an opportunity for growth, for strength, and for transformation. When you are hungry for hope, you are essentially tapping into your own well of resilience. It's an acknowledgement that life is not always going to be easy, but that doesn't mean you should give up. Resilience is the act of persevering, of pushing through pain, of continuing to show up even when you feel exhausted and overwhelmed. And the hunger for hope is what gives you the energy and the drive to keep moving, even when it feels like you have nothing left to give. The hope that you carry within you is a source of strength, one that can carry you through the darkest moments and into a future that you might not even be able to see yet. Resilience is also about recognizing that life is a journey with both ups and downs. There will be moments of victory and moments of defeat, but your hunger for hope allows you to maintain perspective. It helps you to see that the hard times are not permanent and that they don't define you. When you have hope, you understand that setbacks are just part of the process. They are not roadblocks, they are detours that lead you to where you need to go. Hope allows you to see challenges as opportunities for growth rather than insurmountable obstacles. It gives you the strength to keep moving forward even when the road is difficult. Resilience is also about adaptability. Life will rarely go exactly as planned, and the ability to adjust to new circumstances, to pivot when necessary, and to find new paths forward is a key component of resilience. The hunger for hope makes you flexible in your thinking. It allows you to see that even if things aren't going the way you expected, there is still a way forward. Hope helps you believe that even in the face of disappointment or failure, there is always a lesson to be learned, a new opportunity to seize, and a new way to move forward. Resilience is not about staying stuck in one place. It's about being able to adjust and adapt to changing circumstances while still holding on to the belief that things will get better. That belief is what keeps you from getting discouraged and giving up. Furthermore, resilience is about emotional strength. It's the ability to feel pain, to acknowledge that things are difficult, but to not let that pain define you. It's about accepting your emotions without being controlled by them. The hunger for hope helps you process your emotions without being overwhelmed by them. It gives you the clarity and the strength to move through tough times, even when your emotions want to hold you back. Resilience doesn't mean you don't feel the pain or the sadness. It means you acknowledge those feelings, allow yourself to experience them, and then continue moving forward. Your hunger for hope is the catalyst that allows you to move through the emotional turbulence and stay focused on the bigger picture, even when your feelings are trying to pull you in different directions. There's also a spiritual aspect to resilience. When you are hungry for hope, you are tapping into a deeper well of strength that transcends your immediate circumstances. Hope connects you to something bigger than yourself, something that gives you the strength to persevere even when you don't have all the answers. This spiritual resilience is what allows you to trust that there is a plan for your life, even when you can't see it yet. Hope helps you to believe that there is a purpose in the waiting, that your struggles are not in vain, and that everything you go through is shaping you into the person you are meant to be. This kind of resilience comes from a deep sense of faith, knowing that there is a greater force at work in your life and that you are not walking this journey alone. True resilience is not just about bouncing back. It's about becoming stronger through adversity. It's about using the pain, the setbacks, and the challenges as stepping stones toward becoming the best version of yourself. The hunger for hope is what keeps you moving in that direction. It helps you to see that even in the toughest times, you are still growing. You are becoming more resilient, more focused, and more determined. The hope that lives within you is the seed that allows you to transform your pain into power, your struggle into strength, and your doubts into faith. Resilience also helps you build connections with others. When you are resilient, you inspire those around you to keep going. Your hunger for hope is not only a personal force, it's contagious. It allows you to lift up others when they are struggling, to offer them the strength to keep going when they can't see the way forward. There's something incredibly powerful about being around someone who is resilient and hopeful, someone who believes in a better future even when things seem dark. Your resilience encourages others to find their own hope, to tap into their own strength, and to keep moving forward. In summary, resilience is not just about overcoming obstacles. It's about using the obstacles as the foundation for something stronger. Your hunger for hope is the fuel that keeps you going even when everything around you seems to be falling apart. It's what gives you the strength to face life's challenges head on, to adapt to changing circumstances, and to stay emotionally grounded despite the difficulties you face. Resilience is about growing through adversity, not just surviving it. It's the inner strength that propels you forward even when you feel like giving up. And it's the hunger for hope that helps you to tap into that strength, to keep moving forward, and to trust that the best is yet to come. Growth is a process that often takes time and patience. It's easy to want immediate results, especially when you're facing difficult circumstances or working toward a goal that feels far off. But real growth doesn't always happen quickly. In fact, much of the growth that takes place in our lives occurs during the waiting period, the time between when we set our intentions and when we see the fruit of our labor. Patience is a crucial part of this process. It's not about sitting idly by waiting for something to happen. It's about understanding that everything takes time, that growth doesn't happen on a fixed timeline, and that there's a purpose in the waiting. In the moments of waiting, when the future feels uncertain and progress seems slow, your hunger for hope becomes the anchor that keeps you grounded. It is the belief that even though you don't see immediate results, the seeds of growth are being planted. Sometimes we want to rush through life's challenges because they are uncomfortable. We want to avoid pain, discomfort, and uncertainty, believing that growth can only occur when things are smooth and easy. But true growth is often cultivated in the hardest moments, in the times when we feel like we're not making any progress at all. This is where hope becomes so important. It's the quiet belief that the work being done on the inside is preparing you for something greater, even when you can't see the evidence of it yet. Patience in the waiting doesn't mean that you are not actively working toward your goals. It means that you are trusting the process. It means you are acknowledging that progress is happening even when it isn't immediately visible. It's the understanding that there are things happening beneath the surface, things that are preparing you for what's ahead. There's a reason why growth doesn't happen overnight. Real transformation takes time, and during that time, it's important to trust that everything you are going through is shaping you for the better. Sometimes it feels like we're stuck, like we're in a holding pattern, but it's in those moments that the most growth is happening. When you hunger for hope, you are acknowledging that growth is a journey, not a destination. It is not about rushing to the end goal or focusing solely on the outcome. It's about finding purpose and meaning in the process itself. It's about recognizing that every step, no matter how small, is a step forward. Even when you don't see the end in sight, every action, every decision, and every moment of perseverance is contributing to your growth. And that growth isn't just about achieving a goal. It's about who you become along the way. It's about the strength, wisdom, and resilience you gain from the waiting. In the waiting, there is preparation. Think about a seed planted in the ground. When it's first buried, there is no immediate sign of life. The seed is hidden from view, and nothing seems to be happening. But beneath the surface, the seed is starting to sprout roots. It's starting to prepare for its eventual growth into something strong, something beautiful. The process of growing takes time, and it often happens in the unseen spaces of life. When you feel like you are in a waiting period, remember that just like the seed, you are growing in ways that may not be immediately visible. The work that is being done on the inside is just as important as the results that will eventually show up on the outside. This is why hope is such a powerful force during times of waiting. It gives you the patience to trust that what you are going through is not in vain, even when you don't yet see the fruits of your labor. When you are hungry for hope, you are telling yourself that you believe in the process even when it feels uncomfortable or uncertain. You are choosing to trust that something good is happening even if it isn't visible yet. This belief is what helps you continue to show up every day, to keep doing the work, to keep going even when the results are not immediate. It's the quiet conviction that your time is coming and that this waiting period is a part of the greater plan. Patience in the waiting also requires a shift in perspective. It's easy to get discouraged when you feel like things are moving too slowly or when you can't see the progress you're making. We live in a world that encourages instant gratification. We want quick results, fast fixes, and immediate answers. But growth isn't always like that. Sometimes the most important work is the work you do in the unseen moments, the work you do when no one is looking, and the work you do when you feel like nothing is happening. This is where patience becomes a skill and hope becomes the fuel that keeps you moving forward. It's a belief that even when you can't see it, you are still growing, and that growth is preparing you for what's next. It's also important to remember that everyone's growth looks different. We often compare ourselves to others, measuring our progress based on what others have achieved. But your journey is unique and your growth will happen in its own time. Patience is the ability to recognize that your timeline is not the same as someone else's. The hunger for hope allows you to focus on your own path, to trust that you are exactly where you need to be and that your time will come when the moment is right. Just because someone else's seed has already sprouted doesn't mean that yours won't. It just means that your seed needs more time to develop, more time to grow strong, and more time to take root before it reaches the surface. Another important aspect of patience in the waiting is understanding that setbacks are not failures. When you face challenges or obstacles during your waiting period, it doesn't mean that your efforts have been in vain. In fact, these setbacks are often the very things that help you grow the most. They teach you lessons, strengthen your resolve, and build your character. The hunger for hope allows you to see these setbacks not as roadblocks, but as opportunities for growth. They are part of the process, and without them, you wouldn't be as prepared for the next chapter of your journey. During the waiting period, it's easy to become frustrated and disheartened, especially when you feel like nothing is happening. But the patience you develop during these moments is what prepares you for the success and breakthroughs that lie ahead. It's in the waiting that you develop the emotional maturity, the strength, and the resilience necessary to handle what's coming. Your hunger for hope becomes a reminder that the wait is not in vain. Every day that you continue to show up, even when nothing seems to change, is a day that you are building something within yourself. You are becoming the person who is capable of handling the blessing that is on its way. Patience also teaches you to trust the timing of your life. It's easy to look around and wonder why things aren't happening the way you thought they would, or why other people seem to be moving ahead faster than you are. But the hunger for hope allows you to embrace the timing of your journey. It teaches you that there is a divine timing to everything, and that what is meant for you will come at the right time. There is no need to rush. Trust that what is unfolding in your life is exactly what is meant to happen. When you can trust in the timing of your life, you are free to focus on the present moment, to continue doing the work, and to be patient while everything falls into place. Hope in the waiting is a transformative experience. It changes your perspective on time, on growth, and on the process of becoming who you are meant to be. It teaches you that even when you can't see it, something is happening within you, and that your future is being shaped by every moment of patience you exercise. Patience in the waiting is not passive. It's a choice to trust the process, to believe that your growth is happening in ways you may not fully understand yet, and to hold on to the belief that what is ahead is worth the wait. There's a difference between merely existing and truly living, between moving through the motions of life and actively engaging with the world in a way that is meaningful and purposeful. Many of us go through life with a sense of routine, carrying out tasks and responsibilities, but deep down, there's a hunger for something more. We long for fulfillment, for a sense of purpose that goes beyond the mundane, something that speaks to our soul. The hunger for hope is often the spark that ignites the fire of purpose within us. It pushes us to seek deeper meaning, to look beyond the surface and discover what we are truly meant to do. This hunger is not just about wanting more, it's about wanting something greater, a sense of connection to the world around us and to the deeper purpose for our lives. Purpose is not something that can be found in external accomplishments alone. While achievements and success can bring temporary satisfaction, they cannot fulfill the deeper longing for significance that resides within each of us. The desire for purpose is rooted in our innate need to contribute to something bigger than ourselves. It's not just about what we can gain, it's about what we can give. It's about finding ways to align our passions, our skills, and our values with the needs of the world. This is where hope plays a crucial role. Hope gives us the vision to see beyond our current circumstances, beyond the struggles, and to focus on the potential that lies ahead. It helps us recognize that no matter where we are right now, there is always the possibility for something greater, something more meaningful to emerge. When you are hungry for hope, you are not simply yearning for the fulfillment of personal desires. You are craving a life that is rich with purpose, that is aligned with your values and your true calling. Hope allows you to envision a life that goes beyond the limitations of your present reality. It helps you see the potential within yourself, the skills and talents you have yet to uncover, and the contributions you are meant to make. It is the belief that no matter where you are in life, there is always a possibility of growth and expansion. Hope fills the gap between where you are now and where you are destined to be. One of the key elements of purpose is understanding that it's not always about big, grand gestures. Purpose can be found in the small, everyday acts of kindness, in the way we show up for others, in the way we care for our families, our communities, and ourselves. When you are hungry for hope, you begin to see purpose not just in the big picture, but in the everyday moments that make up your life. Purpose can be found in the work you do, in the relationships you cultivate, and in the ways you engage with the world around you. You start to realize that every act of service, every moment of compassion, and every effort to make a positive impact is contributing to something larger than yourself. Hope doesn't just help you to find purpose, it also keeps you connected to it, even when the journey becomes difficult. Life will inevitably present obstacles. There will be moments when you feel like giving up, when the challenges seem unsurmountable, and when your purpose feels unclear. In these moments, it's easy to lose sight of why you started on this path in the first place. But when you are hungry for hope, you are reminded that purpose is not defined by the absence of difficulty. It is defined by your ability to keep moving forward despite the obstacles. Hope is the force that propels you to stay aligned with your purpose, even when you encounter setbacks or face uncertainty. It's the belief that every challenge is an opportunity to grow, to learn, and to become more deeply connected to your calling. Purpose is also about recognizing the unique gifts and talents you have to offer the world. Each of us is born with a set of abilities and strengths that are meant to be used for something greater. When you are hungry for hope, you begin to see these gifts not just as personal advantages, but as tools that can be used to make a difference. Your purpose is often intertwined with the ways you are uniquely equipped to help others. Hope allows you to see that your talents are not for your benefit alone. They are meant to be shared, to be used in service of others, and to contribute to the collective good. Living with purpose requires a shift in mindset. It means moving away from a self-centered view of life and embracing a perspective that focuses on service, contribution, and growth. When you are hungry for hope, you start to understand that fulfillment comes not from what you can accumulate, but from what you can give. Purpose is found in the ways you positively impact those around you, the ways you contribute to your community, and the ways you work toward a better future for all. Hope helps you see that your life matters, that you have a role to play, and that your actions, no matter how small they may seem, can make a difference. It's important to recognize that purpose is not always something that comes with clarity or certainty right away. It's easy to feel lost or confused, especially when you're trying to figure out what you're meant to do with your life. Sometimes purpose doesn't come in a clear, obvious form. Instead, it emerges gradually. Over time, as you explore different avenues, take risks, and learn from your experiences. Hope helps you stay patient during this process. It reminds you that purpose is often found in the journey, in the steps you take, and in the lessons you learn along the way. Hope keeps you moving forward even when you can't see the final destination, trusting that each step is bringing you closer to understanding your true calling. Moreover, purpose is not something that is fixed or static. It evolves as you grow. As you gain new experiences, encounter new challenges, and develop new skills, your purpose may shift and expand. What you thought your purpose was in one season of life may not be the same in another. That's okay. Growth and change are a natural part of life, and your purpose can evolve with you. Hope helps you embrace this evolution, reminding you that you don't have to have everything figured out all at once. Your purpose is unfolding, and as long as you stay open, stay hopeful, and keep showing up, you will continue to grow into the person you are meant to be. Living with purpose also involves letting go of the fear of failure. One of the biggest obstacles to living a purposeful life is the fear that we are not good enough or that we will fail. When you are hungry for hope, you begin to understand that failure is not the opposite of success. It is a part of the process. Purpose is not found in perfection. It is found in persistence. It's about continuing to move forward even when things don't go according to plan, and being willing to learn from your mistakes. Hope gives you the courage to take risks, to step into the unknown, and to keep going even when you stumble. It teaches you that your worth is not tied to your success or failure, but to your commitment to showing up, to doing your best, and to making a difference in whatever way you can. Finally, the hunger for hope is the belief that living with purpose is not a distant dream, but a present reality. It is a reminder that you don't have to wait for the perfect conditions or the ideal circumstances to start living purposefully. Purpose is found in every moment, in every action, and in every choice. Hope helps you realize that you have everything you need right now to begin living a life that is meaningful, fulfilling, and aligned with your deepest values. And the deepest values, your purpose is not something that is waiting for you in the future. It's something you can start living today. When you are hungry for hope, you are not waiting for life to hand you purpose. You are creating it through every choice you make, through every act of service, and through every step you take toward living authentically. The journey of self-discovery is one of the most profound and transformative processes you will ever experience. It is not something that happens overnight, nor is it something that can be rushed. Self-discovery is a gradual unfolding, a process that takes time, patience, and a willingness to confront parts of yourself that you may not always be comfortable with. At its core, self-discovery is about peeling back the layers of who you think you are and uncovering the truth of who you are meant to be. It's about learning to accept yourself fully, embracing both your strengths and your vulnerabilities, and understanding that you are worthy of the life you desire. When you are hungry for hope, you are essentially hungry for the truth of who you are. Hope allows you to see beyond your limitations and circumstances, and it helps you recognize that there is more to you than what you may have believed. It's easy to get caught up in the stories we tell ourselves about who we are, stories that are often shaped by past experiences, societal expectations, or the opinions of others. These stories can limit us, making us believe that we are not capable, not worthy, or not enough. But hope is the force that breaks those barriers. It tells you that who you are is enough, that your past does not define your future, and that the best parts of you are yet to be uncovered. Self-discovery requires honesty and vulnerability. It's about looking at yourself in the mirror and facing the parts of you that you may have been avoiding. It's easy to focus on the things that are easy to love, our achievements, our talents, our strengths, but true self-discovery also involves embracing our flaws, our mistakes, and our weaknesses. It's in these moments of vulnerability that we find our deepest strength. The hunger for hope is what gives us the courage to look at ourselves honestly, to confront the areas of our lives where we feel inadequate or broken, and to see them not as limitations but as opportunities for growth. The journey of self-discovery often requires stepping outside of your comfort zone. It's about challenging yourself to do things that scare you, to take risks, and to be open to new experiences that can expand your understanding of who you are. It's easy to stay in a place where you feel safe, where you are familiar with your surroundings and your routines, but real growth doesn't happen in that space. Growth happens when you push yourself beyond what you know, when you embrace the unknown, and when you allow yourself to be open to new perspectives, new ideas, and new opportunities. Hope is the light that guides you through the unknown, that keeps you moving forward, even when you are unsure of what lies ahead. Through this process, you begin to understand that self-discovery is not about perfection, it's about progression. It's not about finding a final fixed version of yourself, but about continuously evolving into the person you are meant to become. When you are hungry for hope, you learn to embrace the idea that there's no such thing as a perfect version of yourself. Instead, there are multiple versions of you, each one growing, changing, and evolving as you experience life. Your mistakes, your failures, and your struggles are all part of that evolution. They are not things to be ashamed of, but are instead integral parts of your story. They teach you important lessons, shape your character, and help you discover who you truly are. Hope plays an essential role in this journey because it keeps you going even when the path seems unclear. There will be moments during your self-discovery when you question yourself, when you doubt your worth, or when you feel lost. These are the moments when hope becomes your anchor. It reminds you that even in the midst of uncertainty, there is a greater plan unfolding, and you are exactly where you need to be. It gives you the strength to keep moving forward, even when you don't have all the answers. Hope helps you see that even the most difficult experiences can contribute to your growth and development, and that every step you take is leading you toward a deeper understanding of yourself. The journey of self-discovery is also about understanding your desires, passions, and dreams. As you explore who you truly are, you begin to uncover what makes you come alive, what lights you up from the inside. These passions and desires are not accidents. They are a part of your purpose. They are the things that draw you closer to your authentic self, the things that give your life meaning and fulfillment. When you are hungry for hope, you begin to trust these desires, knowing that they are guiding you toward the life you are meant to live. Hope allows you to believe that your dreams are valid and that you have the ability to make them a reality. It's the belief that you are worthy of the life you want to create and that you have the strength to pursue it. Self-discovery also involves the process of letting go. As you uncover more of who you are, you may realize that there are certain beliefs, habits, or relationships that no longer serve you. These things may have been a part of your life for a long time, but as you grow and evolve, they no longer fit the person you are becoming. Letting go can be one of the most difficult aspects of self-discovery, but it's also one of the most freeing. It's about releasing the things that hold you back, that limit your potential, and that prevent you from stepping into the fullness of who you are. Hope is the force that helps you release what no longer serves you, knowing that by letting go, you are making space for something better, something more aligned with your true self. At its core, self-discovery is about learning to love it's about embracing all parts of you, the light and the shadow, the strengths and the weaknesses, the successes and the failures. It's about recognizing that you are worthy of love, not because of what you do or achieve, but simply because you exist. When you are hungry for hope, you are learning to love yourself in a deeper way. You are learning to accept the parts of you that may have been hidden or rejected, and you are allowing yourself to heal. Hope helps you to see your worth even when others may not see it, and it encourages you to love yourself with the same depth and compassion that you offer to others. The journey of self-discovery is also a journey of acceptance. It's about accepting who you are right now in this moment without judgment or shame. It's about understanding that you don't need to change in order to be worthy of love, success, or happiness. You are enough. As you are, hope is what allows you to accept yourself without needing to be perfect, without needing to meet anyone's expectations but your own. It gives you the strength to stand in your truth, to embrace all that you are, and to let go of the need to prove yourself. As you continue on your journey of self-discovery, you begin to understand that the process is ongoing. There is no end point where you've fully discovered everything about yourself. Self-discovery is a lifelong process that evolves as you do. You are constantly growing, changing, and becoming more aligned with your true self. This is the beauty of the journey. It never truly ends. The more you discover about yourself, the more you realize how much there is still to uncover. And that is where the magic happens. It's in this continuous process of learning, growing, and evolving that you find true fulfillment. Hope is the light that guides you through this journey, helping you to trust the process, embrace the uncertainty, and keep moving forward even when the path is unclear. It is the belief that no matter where you are in your journey, you are exactly where you need to be, and that each step you take brings you closer to the fullest version of yourself. It is the hope that the best parts of you are still ahead, waiting to be discovered. When you are hungry for hope, you are opening yourself up to a deeper understanding of who you truly are, and you are embracing the beautiful, ever-evolving journey of self-discovery. In the pursuit of hope, we discover that it is not a distant, abstract concept, but a living, breathing force that resides deep within us, guiding us through life's most challenging moment. It is the hunger for something greater, a longing to tap into the deeper layers of who we are and to live with purpose and meaning. Hope is not just a fleeting emotion or a passing thought. It is the very thing that sustains us through life's twists and turns, pushing us to evolve, to grow, and to become more than we ever thought possible. When we hunger for hope, we are not simply seeking a way to escape the difficulties of life. We are seeking transformation. We are yearning for a deeper understanding of ourselves, a clearer connection to our purpose, and the courage to face the challenges ahead with resilience and faith. It is in this hunger that we find our true strength. It is in this pursuit that we learn to embrace patience in the waiting, to be patient with ourselves, and to trust that the journey is just as important as the destination. We learn that every step, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant, is a part of the larger process of growth. Through this hunger, we begin to recognize that true growth is not measured by external achievements alone. It is found in the internal shifts, those moments of self-reflection, acceptance, and the courage to confront our vulnerabilities. Hope provides the vision to see beyond our present circumstances, to look forward with anticipation and optimism, even when the road ahead seems unclear. It is hope that enables us to move through life with purpose, courage, and compassion, knowing that we are all in the process of becoming more, of becoming who we were always meant to be. As we continue on this journey of self-discovery, we realize that it is a continuous unfolding. The more we hunger for hope, the more we understand that life is not about waiting for perfect conditions or ideal circumstances, but about making the most of where we are right now. We learn that purpose is not something we find once and for all, but something we continuously grow into. The hunger for hope allows us to embrace every challenge as an opportunity to learn, to evolve, and to contribute in ways that align with our true calling. In embracing hope, we are not merely waiting for things to change, we are changing ourselves. Through it all, hope teaches us that we are worthy of the life we dream of, that our worth is inherent, not dependent on our circumstances or our perceived limitations. Hope empowers us to love ourselves fully, to accept both our strengths and weaknesses, and to recognize that we are always enough. And it gives us the strength to pursue our passions, to take risks, and to continue moving forward, even when the path is uncertain. When we hunger for hope, we are truly hungering for the life that we were always meant to live, a life that is deeply connected to our purpose, to our passions, and to our authentic selves. In the end, it is this hunger for hope that drives us to live with intention, to move forward with courage, and to embrace the beauty of the journey ahead. It is the hunger for hope that leads us to become the best version of ourselves and to contribute to the world in ways that leave a lasting impact. It is hope that, when nurtured and embraced, transforms our lives and empowers us to live in alignment with our truest purpose. So keep hungry for hope, for it is the key that unlocks all the potential within you and guides you toward the life you are meant to live. Let that hunger drive you. Let it fuel your faith. Let it ignite your purpose. Your hunger for hope is the spark that will ignite the fire of everything that is waiting for you. Keep reaching for it. Keep pressing toward it. Keep believing in it, because your breakthrough is closer than you think.